Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and I'm here with my list of best films of 2019. A lot of good movies came out this year and I saw more non-Hindi films. Like last year's video, if you haven't seen it, watch it here. The list will be divided in 3 levels. Level 3, Level 2, Level 1. So Level 3 consists of good but flawed films. Level 2 includes great films but there are some nitpicks which I couldn't overlook. And Level 1 include amazing films which work as a whole, which work as an entity. So every movie in this list I recommend you to watch, and my criteria for choosing them is they need to be fresh, they need to be progressive, they need to be innovative, they should be an attempt to make a good film, take risk. I take all of these into consideration when I put them in the list. Of course, like last year, and it will be like this forever, there are some movies which I haven't watched and I think would have made into my list, and whenever I get to watch them, I'll update the video in the comments and add them to the list. Oh Baby, Sonchiriya, Kaithi, Marangam, Muthun, Anandi Gopal, Amis, Bulbul Can Sing, Bala, and Sant Ki Aankh. If there's any movie that you would want to recommend, do let me know in the comments. Before I start, warning, this is my list with my reasonings. It's totally fine that if you don't agree with me, but these are just my opinion. Now that aside, let's start the list. Level 3. I'll start with Lal Kaptan, starring Saif Ali Khan. I also talked about this film in the must-watch Hindi films. It's a really good movie. It's fresh, but there are a lot of issues with it. If you want a detailed review, do let me know in the comments. Next, Dear Comrade, starring Vijay Deverakonda. The review is out. There are a lot of things I really liked about this film, but there are a lot of issues with it. You can watch my review for it. But I could really see the attempt to make a really good film and be progressive. Next, Mission Mangal with an ensemble cast starring Akshay Kumar, Vidya Balan, Taapsee Pannu, Kritik Kulari, Sonakshi Sinha, Nithya Menon, and many more. It really puts the female characters in front, and Akshay Kumar do take a backseat in the movie, but on the poster, Akshay Kumar takes most of the space. The movie accomplishes what it really wanted to do. It was not trying to be very authentic and very real. It was not a documentary, and they were clear about it. They established the journey behind the mission, and by the end you feel connected to the characters and you feel that triumph when the mission is accomplished. Next is Jersey, and I know many of you are not happy why I've put that in level 3. It should have been level 1, but hear me out. Of course, the review is out for this movie, you can check it out. It's very emotional film. Hindi remake will be coming out in 2020 with Shahid Kapoor. It deserves it. Great story, great acting, but there were some issues with, I could say, writing, some of the plot, some of the characters that didn't really fit well in the story, and I hope there are some changes, some modifications to the film when it releases in Hindi. Next is Kesari. I know some people really feel the movie was bad and it was too jingoistic. I think I didn't feel that, and there's no personal thing like that because it's about 6. I've reviewed it, and the biggest thing for me was this film was an anti-war film. Now I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I really felt it was an anti-war film. There were dialogues in it, there was some imagery of it that showed that it's not promoting war or promoting violence. There was depth into the film. There were some continuity errors that tend to happen when you are making a big budget film with war and everything, but I have to count that. And one negative point to this movie is because the fake beard of Akshay Kumar. Everyone in the film had a really good beard, but Akshay Kumar's beard just sucked. One negative point just for that. Next, Ivaru, starring Advisesh. Again, the review's out, and this is a remake of a Spanish film like Badla, and I had already seen Badla and then I already knew the story, but I think I found this better than Badla. But again, there were some issues with it, but it was a good attempt. Next, Chichore. It was a really fun film. It was emotional and gives a solid message. There are some of the things I didn't like, and it felt dragged. Problem is with these kind of films, it's on a whole, you just enjoy this film for what it is. Like, there's not much of, you can say, oh, that would have been better, or this could have been better, but I have to point it out. Next is Saira Narasimha Reddy. Really enjoyed this film in the theater. A lot of great things. You can check out my review, and a lot of issues also, but I want to say it was a really well made film. Last film in level 3 is War. Now I know many of you will not agree. You can check out my review why I feel like that, but it was a really good film. It did what it really wanted to do. They marketed the film as Hrithik versus Tiger, and they did it in the film also. They tried clever things in the film. They stuck to the format of these kind of movies. There was thrill, there was excitement, and they built it on top of Hrithik vs Tiger, and they delivered that. Level 2. First movie in level 2 is Section 375, starring Akshay Khanna and Richa Chadda. It deals in a very grey area. The law lies in very grey area. There's nothing, it's very vague. and the film is executed very well. But there were some moments I didn't like. Something on the writing, sometimes it was the acting. But it was a very difficult film to make, and the writing was really good for that because it was not preaching us. It was just showing us what's wrong with the law and how it can be misused. Next is Nani's gang leader. Really enjoyed this film. It was really fun watching it. It was really progressive, but again there were some issues with it. Not perfect. You can check out my review for it. Next is Article 15, starring Ayushmann Khurrana, directed by Anubhav Sinha. Anubhav Sinha is in a great form, and this film delves into the horrors of caste system in India in villages, and it's a very well made film. Only reason it's not in level 1 is there were some character things I didn't like, and I thought if it could have been something else, it would have made more impact. The cinematography is so good, the sound design is so good, it makes you feel uncomfortable, and that was the job. Next is Peranbu. You can check out my review for it. Again, a movie which makes you uncomfortable while watching it, makes you sad. There are some of the plot points which I didn't agree with, and I didn't understand why it was necessary for the plot to show. Next is the movie which went to Oscars from India, Gully Boy, and was kicked out. It was a great film. Zoya Akhtar is a great director. Everything in his movie is amazing, from technical aspects to creative aspects. And the only reason that it's not in my level 1, it's not the film's fault, but it is an average underdog story. Now what makes this movie special is the things it does, which is not normal in Bollywood or in Hindi cinema or in Indian cinema. The first time we see our hero, he's out of focus and he's behind someone else. Now that for a film, it's not a big thing. It's a normal thing. But for Indian cinema, it's like unorthodox, unexpected. Now people say that Ranveer's acting was not good, that he underperformed, Alia was outshining him, MC Sher was outshining him. And I think that is the point of the film. That's what Ranveer did. That's why he's a great actor. He underperformed, he underplayed himself. If you compare his performances with Khilji and with Simba, he's coming out and showing off. He's there, he's showing his presence. And his film, he had to do the opposite, and he did it so well. But again, these points are just because this is not normal in Indian cinema. And just because of that reason, I cannot put it in level 1. If you think otherwise, do let me know in the comments. Next is Virus. Such an amazing film. The review is out, you can check it. There were some places I feel it was little stretched, and there were some points when the acting was not good by some supporting actors, which did pull me out of the movie for a second. Next is Uri the Surgical Strike. I was so happy the movie did so well at the box office because it deserves it. On technical level, this was the best movie. Vicky Kaushal just nailed it, and it was very well directed. There was no jingoism for me. They kept it real. And the only reason it's not in my level 1 is just one scene in the climax when he just go barehanded with the last terrorist left. And I think that was little mass movement, and I didn't like it. I would have wished they would have kept it real and just finish him with a gun. Just throw a grenade or something, get over with. I don't know why they had to get a hand-to-hand combat and then he's getting choked by the terrorist and then he comes back. Like, that was really not needed. Only because of that reason it's not in my level 1. So the last movie in level 2, you will be shocked, you would not like it, and that's because it's Asuran. Now I know for a lot of you guys, Asuran is the best movie of the year. It was a great movie. You can check my review out. But there were some things which I didn't like, and it stretched the movie a little longer. It made me confused sometimes because there was a lot of explanation going on. And that's just a nitpick. But I have to do it because I'm doing it for the films as well. And it's time for level 1. So the first movie in level 1 is Mard Ko Dard Nahi Hota. I'm sure many of you haven't heard about this movie or didn't know that it came out this year. It was such a good movie, so funny, the action was so good, and I just hated it that it didn't do well at the box office. Next is Game Over starring Taapsee Pannu, released in multiple languages, and my review is out for this. We also discussed about this movie in our podcast. Taapsee Pannu, my favorite actress, and I'm not biased. This movie is really good. It's not horror, but it's more thriller, and the way it was done, it was amazing. Next is Photograph, starring Nawazuddin Siddiqui and Sania Malhotra. You need patience to watch this film. Very slow, very cute. You can call it a love story drama. I even talked about this film in my must watch Hindi films video. It's a slice of life. It's just sit back and enjoy what's happening on screen. You just have to feel it. Next is Kumbalingi Nights. The review is out. Great film. The way the themes are explored about what masculinity is, it's really well done. And again, it's very different from a normal movie. There are no structures and acts. You're just living the film. Next is Sony. It's a Netflix film. It's about a women constable in Delhi police, and it's so well done. There's so many long shots, single take shots. It shows so well how women are treated in our society. Clearly one of the best films of the year. with great performances. Next is Jallikattu. I've seen the movie. The review is not out, I know. It will come out later, mostly next year. But it's an amazing film. I cannot say much because you have to wait for the video for that. So do subscribe. Next is Super 30. You may not agree, but I think it was one of the best movie of the year and one of the best commercial films. I'm going to make a special video about this and it will be coming out soon, and I'll talk more about it in that video. But it was really well done. Ritik performed really well, and the whole movie was stitched so well. From writing to acting, everything was top notch. And of course, the last movie in level 1, the best movie of the year, the best movie of the decade, the best movie ever made in India. I'm sure you have guessed it already. I've talked about it so much. Super Deluxe. I don't think I have to say a lot because the review is out. I've talked about it so much. You can check out the podcast. We talked about it in that. And I just have to say one line from the mega reviewer, the national award winning critic Bhardwaj Rangan said about this film that you can watch this film through a microscope as well as through a telescope. And I'll end with that. So guys, that was my list. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. No problems at all. Let me know in the comments your list and the movies you would recommend me which are not in the list. And if there's any difference of opinion, do let me know. If you're on the channel, check out other videos, and if you like them too, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you next year. Not next year, there are 2 more videos coming out this year, so stay tuned.